Welcome back, everyone, to yet another deep dive from REACHLaw. Today, we're looking at something really quite critical, this acceleration point in the EU, specifically how the European Commission is using its new strategies to apply AI and AI in science to, well, genuinely improve efficiency and data management, especially for companies navigating those complex regulatory frameworks, think chemical and product compliance.
That's absolutely right. I mean, AI isn't some far-off concept anymore, is it? It's really driving changes globally in business and science. And these strategies, they're the next logical step after the EU's earlier plans, turning policy into actual funded resources that you, the companies out there, can potentially use.
Okay, so let's maybe unpack the first one then, the apply AI strategy. My understanding is this is squarely aimed at speeding up the practical use of AI, key industries, public sector, getting it working faster.
Yes, and faster time to market is the headline promise.
But how does that actually help, cut through the red tape, the regulatory maze?
Well, what's really crucial here is the mechanism they're building. It's not just a wish list. The aim is linking infrastructure, specialized data, and those testing facilities. Now, for regulatory compliance, REACH, for example, the Apply AI Alliance is key.
The alliance, right?
It brings industry and regulators together. So it offers let's say, a more direct path for companies to flag issues, compliance bottlenecks, operational friction points.
Ah, I see. So it's not just dealing with separate siloed bodies. It's meant to be more coordinated.
Precisely. And you've also got the AI observatory monitoring trends. So the structure is there to provide feedback loops, address those real-world regulatory hurdles.
Okay. And I suppose this also connects to making sure the AI Act itself is implemented smoothly.
Yes, that's part of it, along with the dedicated AI Act service desk.
Yeah.
But it's also about ensuring the data handling is efficient enough to genuinely, reduce the burden, cut down the time needed for safety assessments. It's a very practical push.
Okay, practical application covered. But now, let's shift gears slightly. This is where I think it gets really interesting for the science behind compliance. The AI and science strategy. We're moving from immediate use to the foundational data and research needed long-term, right? Because applications depend entirely on the data they use.
Exactly. And if you connect this back to chemical safety, this strategy is fundamentally about identifying and, crucially, filling strategic data gaps. The Commission is putting serious resources into making sure the data sets needed for cutting-edge research are, well, available and high quality.
And you mentioned serious resources. We're talking significant computational power, too. I heard about doubling Horizon Europe's annual AI investment, over $3 billion annually. That's huge. Where's that actually going, and what exactly are these AI gigafactories?
Right. The funding is substantial. A big chunk, $600 million from Horizon Europe initially, is going towards RAISE. That's the resource for AI science in Europe. And RAISE is meant to secure access to these AI gigafactories.
Which is just jargon for.
Basically, yeah. It's jargon for massive dedicated data centers. High-capacity computing clusters. Think about complex safety modeling, like QSR models predicting toxicity. That needs enormous power.
Okay.
And curated data sets. So by funding these gigafactories, the EU is trying to make advanced modeling much more accessible for researchers, which down the line helps reduce reliance on maybe slower, more expensive traditional testing methods like animal testing and regulatory submissions.
Ah, okay. So the funding isn't just for big data in the abstract. It's directly aimed at enabling specific kinds of analysis that could change compliance workflows, reduce costs, speed things up.
Absolutely. It's building that robust, high-quality data foundation for the future, the kind of foundation the Apply AI strategy will ultimately need to build safe, reliable systems on top of.
So bringing it all together then,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway for you, the compliance professional listening in? It seems like these two strategies are working in tandem, one pushing for immediate efficiency in industry, the other securing the scientific bedrock for future safety work.
That's a good summary. But it does raise a really important, maybe slightly provocative question for the listener to consider. With all this investment being centralized, in resources like RAISE and these beta factories, how does regulatory liability shift?
Liability.
Yeah, it's not just about integrating these EU resources into company workflows. Who carries the responsibility if an AI-driven safety assessment, one that relied heavily on these EU-backed tools and data, turns out to be insufficient or flawed? That potential shift in regulatory responsibility, that's something we really need to watch closely as this unfolds.
That is indeed a compelling challenge to keep in mind as these powerful new AI capabilities come online. A great point to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.